What is best pizza in Chicago?
Depends who you ask, probably. There's a lot of really great spots out here. I think what's cool about...
I'm asking you.
So there's the thing that's cool about Chicago is like it's got like a big pizza history and its own pizza identity. And those kind of two, arguably three styles are deep dish, tavern, which we talked about, and then arguably the third is pan, which is kind of this like, I don't know if you're going to call it up and coming. It certainly isn't like the public eye up and coming, but it's sort of this like fluffier, more like focaccia but round type, not really Sicilian, not really grandma, just kind of its own thing, usually fermented, whatever. You're always going to ask people what their favorite spot is, and it's usually going to be like what what they grew up eating, like your
Sarks or
what your
something.
parents would like grow up bringing back to the crib, right? Like, and you're like, okay,
Dude,
it's time. It is time.
It's literally anytime you watch a cooking show, it's like, yeah, I just really try to capture the nostalgia of like my grandma's cooking. It's always
And so it's like, what is it to me personally? It's to like go back to it. It's probably that thin tavern, the Barnaby's. Like, I grew up eating that. I grew up like in Northbrook, but like Highland Park was nearby. So like my parents like would always say like, yeah, when we were younger, we were really poor, so we just get Barnaby's a lot. And I was like, sick. And I grew up going to Barnaby's for like baseball, and like we'd order it every once in a while. It certainly wasn't like we wouldn't order it every single time. There are other spots my parents would get, but like that is probably my favorite type now. And it's like a super thin cornmeal on the bottom.
The cornmeal at the bottom. And then also Barnaby's just has like a certain
vibe in the restaurant. It's very it is the classic tavern. It is like that.
It's S-tier Tavern.
It's S-tier Tavern.
The best.
It's also like, go ahead.
I was going to say it feels like Bavarian, but it's not.
It does kind of. It's almost like you're going into like an old German drinking hall.
Yeah.
Right? You walk in there and it's like the light, what's it like? It's like a 20, it's like the lowest yellowest lighting that you can possibly have.
I feel like there's
the
stained
warmest
glass,
lighting,
right, a little bit.
On the lamps are all made of like the stained glass. They used to have that like cheese you can put on the crackers where you're waiting for your pizza. There's a bar.
Yeah, we probably all have a memory of being like 7 years old, walking up to the bar and feeling like super adult and be like, could I get a root beer because I had it on
with like the so that
super cool.
That's probably my answer.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I had Barnaby's not that long ago. I was like, still. And
it's like suburban Chicago. It's like you got to drive a little bit for it, but if you're in the area, go grab it. It's good.
Dude, how good was that after like practice pizza?
Yeah, dude. That big league chew to Barnaby's combo.
Yeah. That was fire.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so I kind of expected you to say that, but favorite hot dog joint, and I'll just say, oh shit, I don't have my water bottle, but I recently found Fatso's Last Stand. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar.
But they just make a really classic Chicago style dog that I love. They snip the ends versus so like other ways you could snip them. Right. Like I feel like you gotta snip somewhere. You gotta cut it so it blooms out. And
you mean like down the lengthwise or?
It's so they snip them on the ends like 2 times so it kind of just like frays out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that place is fire. They make it's
Fatso's.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
it's
I think that's really the bottom line with dogs is that like here in this town, like Chicago style dogs, you're with what's called dragging it through the garden.
Dragging it through the garden.
That's like what it's called. All the stuff. I was eating a hot dog with a friend the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, it's basically a salad on a hot dog. Why are you giving me shit for putting ketchup on it? You're putting everything else on it." I'm like, true, but it's essentially a pickle. It is relish, neon green Hulk jizz looking relish, onions, yellow ass mustard. It has to be yellow ass mustard. And then did I say the pickle spear, the big pickle spear, and then honestly celery salt is to me what
celery salt.
It's what makes part. It's what the aroma of when you're eating a hot dog. It's like, and then sport peppers, right? For that those crunchy heat, right? And so like it's kind of that's what they call dragging to the garden because you're putting all the vegetables on it or whatever. And then tomatoes, I forgot that too. It's like why do you need ketchup when you have tomatoes on it? It's the acidity, whatever. To me, it's like if you're an adult and you're eating ketchup, reevaluate. Don't mean to yuck your yum, but like
I still love ketchup.
I'm
ketchup. Right?
I just love the bit of being anti-ketchup. I don't give a shit when you do. Like, put the ketchup
grow up, dude.
Yeah, dude. So I just like calling people like children when they eat ketchup, which is funny. But no, it's
you're
fine.
eating like I mean, if you're eating the colored ketchup, do you remember that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Purple.
The purple and green ketchup and shit. The Nickelodeon ass ketchup.
Gross.
But I think my favorite dog in the city because like they're all very similar because they all put the same things on there. Maybe give or take a couple things. I did a video where I went to the Vienna beef hot dog like factory.
Yeah.
And like they have this like Vienna beef factory stand right outside the factory. So it literally goes from like factory to this place, and they do it like the most classic way. And like it's just the cleanest, most like the cleanest representation of what a Chicago dog is. And to me, it's like, I'm gonna say that, I guess. Like, but the thing is that you go to any of these stands and you're gonna get a great dog most of the time.
Yeah.
Is that not around anymore?
They moved, but like they're still there. Yeah.
Was that the one that was actually like right here?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No, so that factory moved to the south side. I forget the exact neighborhood, but it's like over there, and then right outside of that new factory, they like bought out this other hot dog stand that was like gnarly. They said they had to power hose it down for like 2 weeks to get it clean. Got it clean. It's pristine in there now, and it's like you can buy all their products. And Vienna beef, like, not to like make this a Vienna beef commercial, but it's like you can't really get that outside of Chicago in most places, and it makes a huge difference because they use natural casing, and it's like snappy, and it's like it's got this like unique,
it's
like
expensive.
deep flavor. It is. There's two kinds of the red label and the blue label, right? One of them is for like public consumption. The other one's for like restaurants. I forget which one is the one you want to get, but I think if it's
gotta be the restaurant one.
I think the blue label is the one that if you see it, get it. You Google it. I'm not sure, but I was told this by one of the guys.
Gotcha.
No, I don't even know if they have that on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's like that's a local zone. Yeah.
But if you go to a stand, like, they're gonna probably be using the good stuff. But anyway.
Yeah, sorry, Frank. I'm like, it's kind of a difficult search.
I don't know about that.
But yeah. So.
Okay, so my girlfriend bought the Vienna beef, and I was like, why is this so expensive? What the hell?
It's real. I mean, here's the thing. Like, people think hot dogs are like pork nails and snouts and all this gnarly stuff, and you don't go into a hot dog factory, which is the reason I went in it. It's straight up like lean beef. I've seen them grind the beef. It's thousands of pounds of like bottom and top round and all these other beefs. They spice it, they emulsify it, and they put it in natural casing and temperature control it. It's one of the only commercial hot dogs that's in a natural casing you can get, like to scale, that does hot dogs to scale like that. You can also get like the non-natural casing, which means they cook it in the cellulose casing, which when they smoke and permeate through the cellulose casing, and they remove that, so it's just like this kind of like tubular meat shape. But when you get it in the natural casing, they put it in a literal intestine, right? That's what the casing is. That's when you bite into it, it snaps. That's like natural intestine casing. Like, which sounds gnarly, but it like doesn't taste like anything like gross. Like, it's not like awful OFFAL.
I'm here
tasting.
for it.
Yeah, it's just like what it's what makes the Chicago dog like unique and special, honestly, in my opinion. Like, a lot of these guys, like places like, not to like, start a hot dog beef here, pun intended. But like, what's the one on the East Coast? They do like Nathan's and all these other places that it's just like, it's like, what's the difference between that and like a Hebrew National off the fucking rack at 7-Eleven? Like.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, how do we feel about the Costco dog? The $1.50 Costco dog?
Fuck those
jumbo.
I'll fuck up a jumbo. I'll gluck a dog right now on camera.
Yeah.
That's what you want.